Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Scamfish presented by socialcatfish.com. On today's episode, we speak to a woman named Sherry. Sherry was messaged on LinkedIn by a man who claimed his name was Sebastian. She ended up falling in love with him and did everything she could to meet him. She even sent him over $6,000, but after a woman named Robin reached out to her about being in a relationship with the same man, Sherry did some research and found out his true identity. Sherry reached out to us to share her story. Real quick, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your comment and like could help stop someone from being scammed. Let's get into it.
Okay, my name's Sherry Creetall. I'm a registered nurse and found this guy on LinkedIn. Before I met him, I divorced 20 years ago, had raised two teenagers. My kids are in their early 30s now. Mainly been alone for 20 years. I kind of dated, but not really. I'm an animal lover, and I had a dog that got sick and got put down, so I was depressed. I have been spending a lot of time online, but I haven't been looking for a relationship, no. And when I met Sebastian, I really was reluctant to get into a relationship. I met him on LinkedIn, and it's an app for businesses and careers, and it's not a dating site. For me, I get a lot of articles on nursing, and you have a chance to meet up with other nurses, and it's by invitation. I got an invitation from Sebastian, who had a construction business, supposedly was from Scotland. I was kind of intrigued. I finally accepted his invitation right away. It was like, boom, all of a sudden he started talking to me. And I thought that was kind of strange. It's like, hi. And he was just asking all kinds of questions, and he was very flattering, very gentleman. And I wasn't used to that in my relationship. Being the gentleman and how's your day and what have you had for breakfast? And I mean, whoever this person is was very educated. He had a wife of 22 years that died of cancer. He said he made a lot of money and he donated money to cancer research. He didn't talk too much about himself. Eventually, he started dropping hints about marriage. Part of it was kind of romantic, but the other part was like, I don't even know this guy. I haven't even met him. I was born and raised in Southern California, and I told him initially I was from Southern California. And when he did call me, it was a 213 area code on the phone. And I thought, oh, you're from Los Angeles. It's, oh, yeah, I'm from Los Angeles. And he didn't say what city. I said, oh, well, what's your favorite beach? He said, Santa Monica. All together, I lost about 6,000. It was a little here, a little there. One time I did take out a loan because this was in the end. He had this scenario happen, and it kind of sounded believable in the beginning. But then right afterwards, I found out the truth about his identity. And it was just like a week later. Had it been a week earlier, I wouldn't have given him all that money. The first one was, I'm hungry. And do you have any money? I said, well, I have $100. Oh, well, I haven't eaten all day. And if I don't get the money, I'm going to have to go to the hospital. So I said, well, okay, it has to be Bitcoin. So I got $100, and I had to find a Bitcoin ATM. I found the Bitcoin ATM and sent the money. He needed $500. And so I got an Apple gift card. I thought, gift card? And then he wanted the receipt for that. He's a contractor, okay? And supposedly he had a contract that before COVID, he had a project that he wanted to get done. He didn't say where it was, and he was working on it, and he had to get the paperwork done. And he said, okay, I got the contract. And he says, oh, it's in Dubai. I was like, oh. And there was some kind of a tunnel project in Dubai. And I was like, okay. Oh, I'm going to be gone for a while. When I get back, I'll get to meet you and blah, blah, blah. He was saying that some of the equipment was not on time because of COVID and everything. He was doing what he could. And I could tell you, I still remember the day. It was June 13th that supposedly there was an accident. A girl wound up being harmed. She wound up a head injury in the hospital. He said that the family had a week to decide what to do, and they decided they were going to hold the equipment in lieu of $1 million. And he said he got it down to $750,000. And after it all got paid down, there was a little bit left that he needed money for. Stupid me, I took out a loan. He'd always talk about, oh, baby, when I get home, we'll meet at the airport. And I try to have visions of him at the airport. And I see this person and his head would just start to disappear. And I thought, that's weird. I was praying and it was like, I realized now God was telling me he's a fake. The next thing that happened was I was on a Facebook page called I Love Scotland or something like that. And they were talking about Scottish men. And I said, oh, I've got this boyfriend and he's so handsome. I posted a picture and this woman pipes up and says that that's not him. That's not real. I went, oh, and she goes, I follow this guy on Instagram and he has a different name. I went, what? She came back a couple days later and she posted a picture, and Sebastian never showed me this picture. And I thought, where'd she get this? That was weird. So I went on Instagram and I found her. And so I gave her my phone number and she started talking and we started comparing notes. And I said, well, I'm his girlfriend. And she got really quiet. And she's like, well, I'm his girlfriend too. I went, oh, Robin. I guess she called up Sebastian. Then Sebastian called me and luckily he blocked me. So the pictures that this person, Sebastian, was using was of a man named Paul. And I was just like crushed. And I thought, what on earth? And I went through all the pictures. Every picture that Sebastian had sent me was of Paul. And when we first started talking, we talked about, ourselves. And he started saying, well, after my wife died, I went to Peru and my family took me, and he showed these pictures. Well, I found the pictures of Paul when he went to Peru. So I thought that's weird. So whoever this person was had to have known Paul, stole his pictures and made up stories and sent it to me. And I just thought, well, that's crazy. And so I thought, well, I need to get on his LinkedIn page and see what's going on and see if he's talking to somebody else and if they're aware that, because this is not who I thought it was. I'm reaching out to Social Catfish. I've watched the videos before and I'm very eager to find out what they found out about him, what they know. And after what I found out about, like the Google Hangouts and whatnot, who else is he talking to if they've been able to find out?
After we received this video message from Sherry, our search specialist Lenny got to work. She wanted to vet the profile of Paul that Sherry found. Meanwhile, Sherry courageously went through the fake profile of the man who claimed his name was Sebastian on LinkedIn and warned other women about this fake profile that were connected to it. She found a dozen of other women who had been scammed by this same exact profile and helped stop them from being duped out of any more money. These scammers run in networks and are working around the clock to scam as many people as they can. The next step we took was reaching back out to Sherry and letting her know what we found. Real quick, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get back into it.
I really liked your case because I think that there was a lot of unique things that you had to share with us. The first thing I really want to talk about is this photo I'm looking at. And it kind of looks like you're doing something with your finger.
Me and Robin.
Yeah, can you tell me about that picture and how that came about?
We found out that he was seeing both of us on two different Hangouts accounts, two different phone numbers, and basically he was playing both of us. And so we knew that there was others. So that day, Sebastian decided to delete me. He blocked me. He found out that I knew. I guess Robin confronted him. And so he was trying to go after Robin and keep Robin. But she and I were talking and comparing notes, and we found out that he was sending the same poems and the same everything. And so he was trying to get her to give him $10,000. And he was just all over her. Baby, I need the money. I'm in Dubai. I've got this problem. And so I was telling her, well, why don't you send him Monopoly money? And she thought that was hilarious. Then we came up with this idea that we're going to send him a Dear John letter, and we were going to be flipping him off at the end. And so that's where we got it from, was to say, hey, we're done with you.
And by the way, I think it is really admirable and even heroic that you figured out how to look around at these women, ask questions, and particularly that you found this one, Robin, who it was exactly the same. Exactly the same.
week, I found even more women.
Oh my
I
word.
found at least 4 or 5 more.
One of the things that this shows everybody watching is that you're not the only one. And a scammer, one thing we know is that they use scripts, and so they may have a bunch of windows open. They're saying the exact same thing, and that's what it sounds like here, Sherry, is that that's what they were doing, sending the same photos. And so it is really important for people to take note that even though you're under the impression that you're the only one, we know that scammers work in networks. Most of us, when we go to LinkedIn, there's an assumed understanding that this is a place where people look for employers, they look for checks about if someone's looking for a job and has applied. So I want to break down his LinkedIn profile. Looking at this, we see that he says he is a structural analysis at Intercal Construction and Machinery. And it also includes philanthropy.
Yeah,
So we know that not only did he steal Mr. Benny's photo, but he also stole a part of the real man himself. And
exactly.
That's something that you can always kind of look for and kind of notice if you're ever in question. Just people need to pay attention to that. And these three things don't go together. They don't sound right for someone who's really smart. So what I did next is I kind of scrolled down and I'm looking at his recommendations, people who he's connected with. And I'm looking at this man, this profile called Theo Barona. He's an entrepreneur. He's an attorney, he's a strategist, and he's in international business. The first clue is that these things don't really go together, right?
That's how I found Robin, was she was under that recommendations. And I thought that was really crazy that a nurse will be recommending a CEO of a company, a nurse from Ohio. And that's what got me suspicious. And that was back in August. She's gone now. But that guy, he wasn't there. There was her and the Chinese lady. And I thought that was really weird. And I talked to the Chinese lady and she said, oh, he was trying to get me to invest in some money and stuff. And I said, no.
Well, what we did to make sure is we ran the image on his profile. This beautiful face that has all of these credentials was easy to find because he's a model and an actor. His name is Kleiner Keylort. And so this is a fake profile supporting Sebastian's fake profile. Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about this person. His name's Paul Benny. He's a very active man. He actually has a nonprofit he has founded with his mother. It helps people impacted by COVID.
What I know now, it's like dating sites are even worse than LinkedIn, and LinkedIn is crawling with fake profiles. It's bad. There's got to be something to stop this, because it's the thing that I've been seeing, and I know it's Sebastian, is someone could slap together a profile and throw it out there, and I know it's him. And it's like something has got to be done, like more education, something, so people are aware that, hey, you don't know who you're talking to.
Well, Sherry, I think you have a lot to offer a lot of people. And after we hang up, I'm going to send you a link to our closed and private Facebook group. It's a discussion group. There's everybody there has been touched by scammers in some way. We really try to educate. And someone like you, I think, can contribute to positive discussion. Some people understand, some people they can't fathom, they don't understand how it happened, and I'm the moderator there, so I contribute there, but I'd like to invite you, and so feel free to be involved in that.
I'd love to, and I think what I would like to see is the ones who were scammed be able to get out and educate and do something to stop this. Something has got to change here.
That's the right way to go. I really appreciate that. Do you have anything else that you want to talk about or say before we sign off today?
No, I just want to be able to eventually find this guy. And I believe I could. I really believe that this is one arrogant little punk. And I believe he's going to do something, slip up and be stupid, and he'll get caught. I don't think he's going to be able to do this forever.
Sebastian's fake profile has now been deleted from LinkedIn. Let us know in the comments what you think these dating apps and social media sites can do to slow these scammers down.
Thanks for watching another episode of Scamfish presented by socialcatfish.com. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.
Scams come in so many different forms. If you have been a victim of any of the scams below, please email us at sharemystory@socialcatfish.com. We'll get to the bottom of it with help from our Social Catfish team. By sharing your story with our YouTube audience, we can educate, spread awareness, and maybe someday we can put an end to these scams.